Hey people, it is Monday, September the 18th. The time is 3:55 in the afternoon and it is currently 19 degrees Celsius and not too humid today, so it actually feels close to 19 Celsius or maybe 20 at the most. And I'm on the corner of Jarvis Street and Gerrard Street East in front of a landmark of the neighborhood. This Harvey's restaurant has been known for decades now as Hooker Harvey's due to the one-time reputation the restaurant had on this corner for a gathering spot of ladies of the night. I don't think it's that way anymore, but the name still persists. It's mostly just a regular old Harvey's. For the most part, I have eaten there before. So I thought we'd go from here, from Hooker Harvey's on the east side, to another place that starts with H. I thought I'd take us up to the Holt Renfrew store. Sort of almost like the polar opposite of Hooker Harvey's, I guess you could say. A very upscale department store in the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. So it's just a from one place to another kind of walk.
Was that 30?
With a very loose theme. And I thought along the way I'd just walk us along some lesser traveled streets and maybe a strally, a street/alley combination that I like to call strallies. And it's a nice sunny day. So we'll continue west along Gerrard Street for the time being, and then I'll start making my way north up towards the Holt Renfrew store. There are some somewhat threatening looking clouds, but I looked at the hourly forecast, and for the rest of the afternoon it said 0% chance of rain. So I guess we'll find out just how dependable these hourly forecasts can really be. I don't have too much confidence in them, to be honest, but I did not bring my umbrella, so I guess I'm willing to take the chance that I won't need it later on.
But she's also local.
So we're at church. Here's a look up north towards the Church Wellesley Village.
Gerrard and Yonge. Oh, okay. Oh, Zara.
So I'll take us past Yonge Street along Gerrard. And then I thought I'd take one of the smaller side streets to start heading my way north. And I am enjoying the more pleasant weather we've been having lately with the cooler but still warm and late summer-like days. Summer's ending this coming Saturday. And the nights are pleasantly cool. But still t-shirt weather, at least for me. So it's somewhat ideal right now. This is a small hotel here, the St. James Hotel. I don't ever see much activity coming out of there, but I imagine it must be doing decent enough business. It's been there as long as I can remember. And there's the slowly progressing site of what will be one of the city's tallest buildings, the Concord Sky condominium. It's gradually making its way up to ground level from the very deep pit that has been there for several years now. The building went through some periods of stagnation when nothing was going on for an extended amount of time. Things seem to be back in action. And that will be an 85-story building when completed. Significantly taller than its neighbor across the street, the Aura, which you can see up there. That one is 78 stories. And we're at Yonge and Gerrard. Not sure if this ambulance is... Guess it was unable to get through the backed up traffic. I guess we are at the beginning of rush hour. And here's the downtown IKEA store at the base of the Aura condominium. And across the street is the Delta Chelsea, or now it's just the Chelsea Hotel. It used to be called the Delta Chelsea once upon a time, but it's changed names. It's still one of the largest, if not the largest, hotel in all of Canada in terms of number of rooms. But I think a wing of this building is mothballed, and eventually the entire building will be demolished to make way for a new development of much taller residential towers in the order of over 80 or close to 90 stories. Just looking up into College Park. I guess you didn't notice there's a bike lane right here, although he is going the wrong way. is Bay Street.
You know what? Let's go home. You guys go home.
And coming up is LaPlante Street, so I'm going to start heading north here on this minor side street that I don't often walk along. And I always like to check out the famous Jimmy's on the wall here at Jimmy's Coffee. Let me know in the comments if you recognize any of those Jimmy's. Their names are all right below, so you can cheat if you don't know. Alright, let's start making our way north. This street is just a quiet alternative to Bay Street if you're heading north in this part of downtown. Ends just up ahead at College Street. This is quite the tough looking Jeep there. Alright, so here's College Street. So I'm actually going to kind of zag back to the east again for a block or two. crossing Bay Street again. This time in the opposite direction. So I'm going to cross over here. And we'll check out that strally I was referring to earlier. So obviously this isn't a direct shortest route between Hooker Harvey's and Holt Renfrew. It's a bit of a zigging and zagging wandering walk, at least to a degree. And I thought I'd just do something a little more erratic and somewhat unplanned today. All I know is I'm going to get from Hooker Harvey's to Holt Renfrew. How I get from point A to point B, I'm not really sure. But we will end up there at the end. There's College Park. We've got Fran's Restaurant. It's always a fun place to go. Alright, so Yonge Street is just right up there, but here is the strally, as I like to call it. So let's start heading north. I'd say it smells more like an alley than a street. But as you can see, cars do drive through here. And people do walk through here too. More than a typical alley. But it certainly smells more like an alley. Okay, this is Grenville Street. We'll come back to the strally, but I thought I'd check out another walkway I've always seen up ahead that I never really bothered to walk through before. This is it here. So as far as I know, I've never ever walked through here, even before my YouTube channel. And as a result, I've never noticed this place right here, Sinorama. Let's continue on this way. Another spot I've never walked through. That was Grosvenor Street we just crossed. I guess this is the little parkette over here.
Come on, mate.
This is the downtown YMCA right over here. It's called Leaf Garden. Another first for me and for the channel, obviously. It's nice. I don't think a lot of people make use of it though, other than to bring their dogs to relieve themselves. But across the street is a new park that just opened less than a year ago, or maybe around a year ago. And I have been through here a couple of times now, but we'll just cut straight through. This is Dr. Lillian McGregor Park. This park was approved along with this neighboring condo building, Wellesley on the Park. I think that was one of the conditions of the development, to develop this parcel of land into a new city park. Perhaps in order for them to get some increased height of the tower. It is 60 stories. Sometimes when developers want to add floors, they have to do things like add public art or some new parkland adjacent to the property in order to get recommended for approval. Yeah, it's quite nice. You can see the park is pretty much surrounded by towers, including a new one rising right there, which will eventually be almost as tall as Wellesley on the Park. Speaking of Wellesley, this is Wellesley Street. Let's see if I can hop across here while traffic is backed up. And there's another walkway right here. I have been through this one before. And this will take us back to the Strally once I go right here. Although the Strally does have a proper name at this point. And this building is rising rapidly now. So here the Strally is called St. Nicholas Street. So I guess it's actually a proper street, although it still has the look and feel of a alley that thinks it's a street, or a street that thinks it's an alley. It has this nice little patio here behind. So here we are. And St. Joseph Street, a very charming side street here. Old historic row houses, some old pre-war apartment buildings. One of my favorite small side streets in this part of downtown. So here's where the street or alley sort of question remains here. And I just felt some raindrops. So much for the 0% chance of precipitation that the hourly forecast had said to me when I looked at it before heading out. Irwin Avenue, another almost as charming side street. And now it looks more like a proper street here along St. Nicholas. I like the interlocking brick roadway. Nice little Victorian row houses. But this being Toronto, you also have the ubiquitous 1960s or 70s slab apartment building. Well, the rain seems to have not materialized into much more than a few drops hitting me. Let's hope that's all there is. And here's St. Mary Street. And that is Yonge Street, just one block to the east. And we're getting close to the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. That tower is at the corner of Yonge and Bloor. Kind of an interesting older building here. And approaching Charles Street. Manulife Center. And looking towards Yonge and Charles. I don't know why he's honking. Maybe he thinks I need a cab. Here is Balmuto Street. And our destination is in sight, directly ahead.
It's a tough point. Because after a while, you just go, no. After a while, you just say, I'm correcting your reaction.
There's an entrance to the Manulife Center, a small shopping mall. I have done a walk through there in a previous video. And the rising One Bloor West, soon to be one of the tallest residential buildings in Canada. And here is Bloor Street. And we literally walk straight into the Holt Renfrew store, which you can see right across. Here in the Mink Mile, the upscale shopping district on the north end of downtown Toronto. So I'll take us across. If I can get across, that is. Alright, it's clear this way. Or it was clear. I guess this is not a good time of day to be trying to cross in the middle of downtown Bloor. Okay, finally. And we have arrived. And we made it from Hooker Harvey's to Holt Renfrew. Two very different places that begin with H, both in the always interesting and constantly evolving downtown core of Toronto. So leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the walk. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, that is. And also make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal or via my merch store or by becoming a channel member. And you can also support the channel through the super thanks button, which is also right down below. And you can find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.